over there and everything.
Uh-huh.
Good morning, sports fans. We're on live today, and we have the delightful Melanie Hall with us today. She's filling in for Dustin Stout, and the reasoning for that is Dustin's down in Costa Rica. And he's down there having a good time, and we'll try and invite him on. But we tried to get on to the we tried to set it up and see if it's going to work out. Costa Rica's network is really poor, and it's a hit or miss kind of thing, and it just didn't work out. So. But we'll give him an invite. We'll see if we can catch him. I saw a little bit of the ocean on his phone, but it was real loud and stuff, so it was crazy. So Melanie was so kind to be here with us, and she's got some pretty terrific news herself about some of the things that she's that are doing in her life. So Melanie, if you would tell us a little bit. You said you're doing the help outs now, and I'm real curious about that. And tell me a little bit about what you're doing on that and how that's working out for you, if you would. And then we're going to talk about the 50+ Google Plus tips, and we're going to get into the 3 of those things that we mentioned. But this is something she just told me about, and I just wanted to give everybody a heads up and let her talk about that for a few minutes. So, Melanie, if you would, take it away.
Tom, you are very gracious. Thank you very much. My name is Melanie Hall. I'm the owner and CEO of Big Uptick Social Marketing, LLC.
Yay!
Just became an LLC on Friday, so woohoo! And I'm a help outs provider, and I've been doing that since February. And what that is, it's the place where you can go and get one-on-one video call through a help out, and there's paid services and free services, and there's 2,000 providers, I think, across the world, so it's not too many. But if you go to helpouts.com or helpouts.google.com, you'll see all these fabulous listings. You can learn how to play the piano, the guitar, cooking. I do online marketing. So I have 7 listings where I can go through an overview, or I can specifically help you with Twitter or LinkedIn, or but not Facebook. Twitter, LinkedIn, Google Plus, YouTube. So there's 7 things, but unfortunately not YouTube because I'm sorry, not YouTube, Facebook, because I don't use it myself because the ROI for business is like so low. Maybe in the future if that changes, but right now, no. But it's a fantastic place. You meet people from all over the world. So if anywhere in the world people have an internet connection and a webcam and a microphone, they can do these. And I've helped people in Australia and California and Boston and England and just, I think, Africa. The call didn't get to go through on Africa very well because the connection was bad. But the help out providers are reviewed, so we can get 5-star reviews, 4-star reviews. So it's really a super neat thing to get people the exact help they need, either instantly or you can set up an appointment. So I love it. I just really love it.
Sweet. Well, do you do on the things that you do? Do you offer free and paid, or how did you figure out how you wanted to do that?
Well, in the beginning, I offered free to see which ones would be the most popular, and that definitely, it surprised me. It was LinkedIn. Right now,
really?
I think with people looking for jobs and transitioning, they want to get that professional profile, improved. The next one is YouTube. So then after a month of free, then I saw what was what the projection was, and then I started charging, and then there was like a lull, like, what? Now you're charging? I think it surprised everybody, like, oh my gosh, you never announced it. Because, I thought if I announced, like, I'm free one more week, then I'd get, like, bombarded. So I didn't announce it. So there was, a lull of a couple of weeks, and then it picked up again. And I think occasionally I plan on running summer specials. which I will announce ahead of time.
Oh, great.
So it's all a learning curve. It's only Helpouts has only been around since November, so we are the first wave of seeing how this works. And it's growing and improving every day as far as features and everything else. So I like it. And the people that I'm meeting within the Help Out community, they're fantastic. Like fellow Help Out people, providers are Larry Fonillier. That's how you pronounce his name correctly, Fonillier. I practiced that one a long time. And then we have Kim Beasley and Jeff Bond and Raymond Williams. So there's, like I said, there's about 2,000 of us. And it's
cool.
Great.
Well, let me ask you this: for people who are not Help Out providers and are maybe interested in that, what do you have to do to get into that?
Well, initially, like when they first opened it, they set out a round of invitations. So I think Google handpicked who they thought would be a good candidate. So I didn't get on that first round, but I still put in, there's a link if you go on there, it says, I want to provide help outs. So you get yourself on that list, and then each time they open it up, they will take you through a criterion testing, like, okay, what are your qualifications? They'll see what your online presence is. They'll see if you really got the stuff,
Cool.
They'll see if you really can talk on a hangout. And they'll see if you're, because you got to be kind of likable too,
Yeah, absolutely. That helps. Always helps.
Yeah. So if you go through that process, and when it comes your time to interview live on a video call with a Google representative for Help Outs, yes, please be friendly, because that's like a big part of it. And they have to see your background, like where you'll always be doing it. Say like if you were teaching yoga, they would like to see, well, how are you actually going to do this? So they would like to see, are you doing it in a gym, in your home? Are you doing it on the beach? So you'd have to, whenever your interview is with them, you have to be at the location of where you're always going to be having your hangouts.
Gotcha.
So there's some preparation, and for me, it was a very nerve-wracking process.
Well, it's kind of like going through a job interview, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. and the thing, because the name Google was very intimidating,
Gotcha.
I wasn't applying for like my local McDonald's, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's like Google. And yeah, and it was like, oh my gosh, if I mess up one time, I'm done. And so that was really, but Larry Fonillier, he was a great mentor during that process, and he would give me like tips, like, okay, now don't say this and do say that, and that helped tremendously.
Sweet.
Yeah, and I think that's what you need. If you are about to become a Help Outs provider, hook up with a Help Out provider and let them give you some tips, because you only get that one shot, so it's pretty neat.
Sweet. Okay. Well, today we're going to be talking about, let's see, add a large image to your post. We're doing, this is kind of a series where we're doing the 50 Google Plus tips by RickEliason, and today we're discussing add a large image to your post, share somebody else's awesome Google Plus post, and let's see, what was the other thing that we were doing? Create a mini blog on Google Plus. So let's just real briefly, when you do your post, Melanie, do you try and get real big images on there sometimes, or how do you go about that?
I do as much as I can. So if I want to post something, I try to find an image, or I create one myself, because that is what helps when people are floating through on their device or scrolling.
Yep.
I want their finger to stop at my image, because then that at least gives them 2 extra seconds to say, do I want to read further about this? So I think images are really, really important. But people with the big names like Ronnie Bincer and David Amerlan and Mark Trapphagen. They don't need images, but they use them. But with their names, if you're scrolling through, you're going to stop at their name. But for folks like me and you and others, we need images.
Believe it or not, they need images too. Images do make the whole thing come alive for you, because it is a visual world these days.
Yeah.
But one of the things that let's see, I wanted to go check something out real quick here. Oops, I went to the wrong place. Come on. Here we go. Okay. One of the things that Rick was talking about, and I never really paid this much attention to it, and that is the dimensions of that image. I mean, when I'm sharing an image, if I'm creating one, typically I'll go to PicMonkey to try and create one, and I'm still exploring that and learning about that. I mean, Wade Harmon's the guy that actually turned me on to PicMonkey, and I've been playing around with Canva a little bit. But I have a hard time with Canva, and I've got to sit there. They've got it looks like some really good training things, videos with Canva, and I kind of need to go through some of those. Have you fiddled with Canva at all yet?
I did when it was in beta months and months ago, but I didn't have time for the learning curve. But I tell you, I have been doing a trick for years, and it's so easy.
Let's hear it. Absolutely.
Okay. If you have PowerPoint, and most people who use Microsoft products, they have PowerPoint. If you go and you start in creating a presentation, and you just use one slide, get rid of the little default boxes that say click title here, get rid of all that. So you have a blank screen on PowerPoint, blank slide. Create your image there. And then you'll fiddle with, you can easily size it up, size it down. Then when you're ready, then you just save it as a PNG.
Okay.
And then that's it. So the reason why PowerPoint is so easy to do that with is because it already has a lot of clip art options free. You can put in images that you already have on your computer, like your profile, or pictures of your dog if you want to use it. So the only requirement you need is it just has, instead of saving it as a JPEG or a GIF, save it as a PNG. That's what makes it transparent, and that's what they want.
Well, let me ask you this: how do you, if let's say that you want to have the dimensions on your post, you want it to be, and you're creating one, and you want it to be 2000 by 2000. Okay. Mm-hmm. So when how do you get those dimensions the way that you want them within the presentation?
Well, within the PowerPoint toolbar, there's a thing that talks about the width and the height and the pixels. So you just go in there and you can resize it, and then you can see what it's doing, or you can even type in the actual, and then it can resize it that way.
Okay, so it's got, okay, well, see, I just learned something, because I've
been doing that for years.
And spreading it, and I never can get it right, so that's pretty cool.
For years, and then plus, well, even if you're close, though, even if you're close, all of the, like Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook and Google, they will give you, if you've got it too large, you can, center it the way you want.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about the exact.
Specifically, though, what I was looking for, like if you're wanting to do a big post on Google Plus, you want it to be like 1200 wide, 1200 pixels wide, and basically when you want that, I mean, you want 1200 pixels wide. So in order to do that, you have to have some way of selecting it. So the only way I knew to do that was PicMonkey. Can you share your screen okay, or does that cause you any problems?
That cost me some bandwidth, and I think I would lose some because
Okay.
I don't have a screen share ready, so I would have to like open and might I think I might lose a connection because that's happened before.
Okay. Well, let's don't do that then, because
Yeah.
what I was going to do was have you run through showing that real quick though. But if it's got where is that? Where is the drop down box when you're? And that should be you should be
Um,
able to do that on Google presentation sheets also,
you
right?
should because they all have the same function, so it's probably a image editing function. You know, and the other service I use, not service, it's a program I use, Snagit. So that's a little bit fancier and more image rich than what PowerPoint offers. But PowerPoint is excellent if you've already got it. It's a free tool.
Yeah. And does Snagit work on Windows and Mac both?
I have a Windows. I'm not sure about Mac.
Okay.
But they probably have a Mac version. Snagit's been around for years, like 10 years. And I started using Snagit like version 1.0. Now they're like at 13.5. And you know, you initially you can get the free version, or you can spend $49, great investment, to get all the bells and whistles. And then they just send you the free upgrades.
Sweet. Sweet. Well, I use Jing a lot too, so there's several different tools that I use for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just use what is user friendly to you. You know, Canva I think is fabulous. When maybe when I have a lull again in the summertime, I will. I don't want another lull. I don't like lulls unless I'm on vacation.
Absolutely.
And I think I will really deep dive into Canva.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, let's see. I was trying to get to this, and my resources, my Wi-Fi is, I'm just trying to flip through. Okay, add a large image to your post. Well, basically, I mean, he's just talking about what Rick is talking about. They get a lot more engagement, and on Google Plus, that's particularly true, and theoretically on Facebook, that's true too. Although I'm not necessarily finding that on Facebook, but I don't do a lot of Facebook marketing either. Let's see, large horizontal images have more of a chance of triggering larger multi-column posts. Aim for high-res, 1200 plus pixels wide for best chance. And that goes to what we were talking about just a minute ago, is how you do that in slides or in the presentation format. Okay, and let's see. He also had said that the tip was inspired by Louis Bauer's post, and I've got in the resource guide we've got links to all this, so check that out too. That's a pretty interesting little post too. And then one of the other things we wanted to touch on a little bit today was, let's see, share somebody else's post on Google Plus. And you know, when you're out doing social media, I mean, one of the things that I think that people do a lot is share. I mean, you do your own content, of course, but if you just, you know, it depends on what form, where you are. Like on Twitter, I see a lot of people that just do their own stuff and there's no interaction there, and it kind of makes you wonder. But on Google Plus, everybody's doing their own post. Everybody shares. Everybody comments. I mean, Google Plus is a transaction place, and it's a place to meet new people. It's a place to get recognized in the search engines, and it's a place to have instant impact on the search engines. But you can interact with a lot of experts here on Google Plus. I mean, basically the people that started off on Google Plus is a baby. I mean, they've only been around, I think, going on about 3 years now, and they started off originally as just a beta thing with Google Plus engineers. I think most people that work for Google Plus are engineers, and it was all the Google Plus guys, and it was on a per call basis. So I think it was largely male and technical people, you know, and then they opened it up to the public, and it's expanded from there. But the neat thing, so your audience is not typically here per se, other than Google as the #1 search engine. Your post here will get indexed immediately, and we're going to talk about that in a minute too, but your Google post will get indexed immediately, and the more transactions you have, it's not a causal effect, but if you're doing a lot of activity, you'll see your stuff spread out all over the place. And one of the neat things about that, I forgot what I was going to say there, but I mean it's Google Plus is just it's the place to be, and to network with people, and people here are very generous and they're wonderful, and of course everybody likes to see what your input is in on things too, so there's an opportunity for you to do things, and one of the neat things is everybody's on, you see more and more mobile searches and stuff. So when people are on mobile, they're typically logged in a lot of times to, particularly if you're on a Google product on a phone, and I mean they run the majority of stuff. The iOS systems are they're great little phones and everything, but they don't have the market share that they used to have. So you're signed in, and when you're signed in, the stuff that you're searching for is going to go out there and search the people that you're interacting with. So it surfaces that type of thing very rapidly, and you really get more recognition out there. So I think that's pretty cool myself, and that's one of the reasons that you're doing the big post and things like that, to get people's attention, to have people comment on it, because one of the things that you see more engagement on than a lot of other things are photographers' pictures. I mean, a lot of these guys, I mean, there's a ton of them that have over a million followers, and a bunch of them like that. Whereas, there's not a lot of marketers that have that other than Guy Kawasaki, and there may be some others, but he's the only one I know right off the bat.
I think people don't like marketers. They think we have another agenda, which we do sometimes, but photographers, I think they're so popular because they're just offering beautiful and interesting things.
Well,
what is their agenda really? They don't say buy my picture. Marketers, on the other hand, say,
well, no. Photographers do say buy my picture too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, one of the approaches that you can take on using Google Plus is as a branding tool, and as a find and search kind of tool thing, and then you can use some paid stuff to drive them to your pages and in your capture pages and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Anyway, do you have any questions about any of that kind of stuff?
Well, I kind of had a tip.
Yeah.
People say, well, gosh, I can't share my Google Plus stuff anywhere else. But there is a cool little trick. Maybe a lot of people know about this already, but after you make a post, you just go back into that, click into your own post that you made, and then you'll see the direct URL of that post. So it'll start out like google.com, then your name, and then a bunch of digits and everything. That's the link to that exact page, because every post you make is a page on, it becomes its own web page in the Google sphere.
Mm-hmm.
So then you just copy paste that link into your Twitter, into your email, wherever. LinkedIn doesn't like Google, though. I tell you what, they do not. For me, anytime I want to share a Google, they don't include the link. So if the URL has Google in it, they will not post that link. It'll post what I said about my link, but it will not give the actual link. So what I have to do, if I want LinkedIn to see what I put on Google, I have to make like a blog post on my blog, on my website, to get people to see it. Because LinkedIn has, I think, a system where if it has Google anywhere in that address bar, it won't let you link to it. But you can include that link on anything else, and it's I tell you what, it's great. Twitter, when you post that link on Twitter, and you use something like Hootsuite or some other Bitly or something to shorten all that big old address, you really drive people to your Google page.
Yeah, we discussed that a little bit and showed them how to do that on last week's thing. But just real briefly, when you say you post that link, are you not shortening that link, or what are you doing when they're having a problem with it on LinkedIn?
Well, on LinkedIn, even when I shorten the link, I guess maybe they have a system that like unshortens it, because when I shorten it I use Hootsuite, so everything starts with Owly, OWLY dot whatever. It won't show up.
Well, I'll tell you what. Try. Do you ever use Buffer?
I'm going to start using Buffer because I think. Am I correct that you can use Buffer for your personal Google page now, or is it just still the business page?
No, you can use Buffer for your profile, for your standard profile. It's not a business page per se. I don't know if you can use it for a business page or not. I know you can use it for your profile because I use it like that all the time. Buffer, okay. I like Buffer a whole lot better than I like Hootsuite.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just a personal preference,
Yeah, I'm gonna try it because I use Hootsuite for a lot of my automation. I don't automate a whole bunch because I like the live stuff, but it does come in handy.
Well, what I was going to recommend to you, you might want to just try it. Go to Buffer app and just shorten a link and see if you can share it with a Buffer link on LinkedIn. And let me know if that works for you, because I suspect it will. I'm trying to think. I share a lot of stuff, but I go through it's a different shortener. But I don't know that most of that's Google Plus Post, though. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, good deal.
Unless LinkedIn has barred me from Google because they say, gosh, she talks about Google, she rarely talks about LinkedIn, so forget it, So I think maybe there's some personal ambassadorship that they're barring me. I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows? Everybody's got their own little algorithms, don't they? Okay. Well, let's see how we're doing on time. We're about to run out of time. Well, let's talk real quick about using Google Plus as a blog, because basically, if you're just getting online, one of the things, instead of setting up a blog, one of the things that you can do to start getting the word out on what you're trying to do, if you have a passion about anything and you're trying to make an impact on people and spread your ideas, you can just come on to Google Plus and actually use it as a blogging platform, because your profile, your pages, and your communities, as long as everything's public, those have individual links to them, and when you post on that, you can post in a long form just like you're writing a blog. Mm-hmm. And that's going to show up in the search engine, so you will actually get found, and you can get a page rank higher quicker on your Google Plus profiles and pages than you can starting a new blog sometimes. Oh, well, mm-hmm. A lot of times actually. But so if you're new to the blogosphere and you want to gain some quick traction and stuff, get on Google Plus and use that as a blogging platform, and put some good pictures on it, and comment, and plus one, and share, and when you're sharing stuff, add your commentary to it. And one of the things that, and I've got a resource list too, but when you're talking about sharing, one of the things that as part of the resource is a thing that Dustin Stout did on how to share. Let's see what. Where is it? Yeah, it's in here it is. It's on a mini blog on Google Plus. It's the perfect how to set up your perfect post on Google Plus, and that's going to be in the reference list too. So go take a look at that, and that'll actually walk you through that. And that's from Dustin Stout, and he's real good about that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, and with using the Google Plus as a blogging platform, you can, within one Google post, you can use up to 10,000 characters. You know, that's spaces, punctuation, 10,000. And that's and to see what that looks like, you know, look at David Amerlin's and Ronnie Bench. I mean, you know, it goes on, and they have all these links. Well, because they're maximizing 10,000 characters, and that's a heck of a lot. Because like LinkedIn only gives you per post 677 characters, and Twitter is just 140. And we don't talk about Facebook.
And you can't even use the 140 on Twitter. I mean, you should stick to around 100 to 120 at maximum.
Yeah,
so
because
people can RT it.
Yeah, because if you max it out, then people aren't encouraged to retweet it because there's no room for their little hey, you know. So maximize your Google Plus posts, you know, and just write, and the more you write, the more searchable, because you're using these wonderful words that are searchable with the semantic search and the plus ones, and you can just have links. There's no requirement like you should only have 3 links in a post. You know, you can have 10 if you want. You can recommend people. It's just fabulous, and it's free.
That's always helpful, isn't it? All right. Well, one of the things we want you to do, Melanie, if you would, is you know, on your help outs, if you have a link that goes to that, if you would come back in and put it down at the bottom, and we'll make sure that we get that out, because you know, if people are looking for any kind of help on any of those platforms that you provide help on, of course, we love you and want people to go and check you out and see if you can help them out. Because
that's very kind. Thank you.
They'll enjoy that, and you're a lot of fun to have on. So.
Well, thank you. You know, all I need to do is slap some makeup on. That's it.
Well,
my hair, I have not had a haircut, so it's like, this is like my first hairstyle. So you're seeing it first today.
Hey, you look great.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, so I'll put that in, and help outs. If you need to learn how to swim, I'm sure there's a help out about it. You know, so it's just fabulous. These people are great.
Yeah, and they've got things for technical stuff and all kinds of stuff. I was kind of going through it and looking at it, and a lot of it's popular stuff, but they do have marketing stuff on there and technical stuff and how to do this, that, and the other too. So it's pretty cool. So yeah. And it's you know, I think Google Plus is gonna be promoting that pretty well, because they get a cut out of that too. So.
Yeah, and they have already launched the medical side of the help outs. And I don't know what they do over there, because they keep us separate, because we're not doctors and nurses. So they don't want us giving them advice, you know, so they keep us separate. But if you need a doctor or a nurse or, you know, anything medical, HelpOuts has that too.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Really
that's
neat.
News to me. So
yeah.
Good deal. I'm glad to hear that.
And you know, with a cam, you can like open your mouth and say, "Take a look at my," you know, like that. You can do that. You know, so you don't have to travel to the doctors.
Hey, we get some Google Glass going on. We just do a hangout here with the docs, you know? So that'll be cool. Okay. Well, sports fans, that was fun. That kind of wraps it up today. We've done our allotted time here. And Melanie, is there anything else that you want to
add? Keep doing hangouts, Tom. It's great.
Oh yeah, I always do hangouts.
Oh,
we do them every Tuesday.
I do have a Lights Camera HOA, which is every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, for people who need practice on just camera. Is how to get over your camera shyness, and it's just live action. So if you've already got the courage but you need to practice, get on there.
Okay. Well, let's make sure you put a link down in the comments here. Okay, well, great. Well, listen, everybody, it was fun today, and we really enjoyed this. And of course, the view's a lot better today than it usually is. So, Melanie, we appreciate you. And come join us. Come join us next Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern Time and 10 Mountain Time. And Dustin will be back at that point, and we'll be rocking and rolling. And Melanie, come by anytime. I mean, you're always welcome. So
Well,
thank
thank
you
you,
so
Tom.
much, and we'll see everybody. If you'll hang on for just a second, we'll stop this thing. Goodbye, and everybody have a good one, and check out the resources. Okay,
All
thanks.
right,
Bye
thanks,
bye.
Tom. Bye-bye.